A man took out an individual and was so blindsided by the response that he got that he took this individual home. Let's get into it. Am I bugging? Let me know what y'all think. He asked me if I was a man and took me back home.
Just had a man pick me up for a date. He asked me if I was a man in the car. I said yes. This man turns around and takes me back home. Now, this is a very prime example of somewhat fragile masculinity, but also dishonesty. Not on my end, but on the end of the suitor. I met him last Friday at a club when I was out with my girlfriends. At some point, we duck off, we're talking, we're chatting, we're dancing, we're like really having a good time. We're throwing banter back and forth, we're being flirty, all these things. Mind you, I am flat chested. I am not a woman. I'm just a very beautiful man.
First glance at you, I did think that you were a woman. However, after doing some research on your page, I came to your videos and I was like, oh, this is a man.
Proceeds to kiss me, XYZ, right? Has been texting me every day since last Friday when I gave him my number. He proceeds to tell me in the car, I don't really know how to ask this, or, I really just don't know how to bring this up, but are you a man? And I looked at him and I was like, yes, I am. I'm just a very feminine man. He pulls over and he's like, I just want to sit over and just like kind of talk about this for a second. I've never been in this position before, so I'm just like not really sure how to handle it. I had an inkling of a thought, but I didn't want to ask you and you be offended if you were not.
He lying. Go ahead.
It's just not something that I'm into particularly. And I think that's part of a bigger conversation as it relates to Black men being interested in just feminine energy, period. He proceeded to apologize and he's like, I'm so sorry. Like, I just like felt like I needed to get this off my chest and at least just ask. But if I'm being honest, I was just like, okay, yeah, like that's fine. Like no harm, no foul. Like it's all good. He's like, is it okay if I just, turn around and take you back home? I'm like, absolutely. Yes, please. We sat there in silence as he did a U-turn and literally dropped me back off. But it goes to show that sexuality truly is a spectrum.
No, it's not. You ain't that feminine for him not to know. He knew. Because I looked at your page. At first glance, you could get him. Now, if he was up in there high as I don't know what, sure. But the fact that he was sitting up there dancing on you, kissing you in your mouth, he knew. He just ain't ready to go ahead and take that leap yet. Sorry. Because I went to your page, and we're going to go to your page some more. This right here, all of this, you're still very much masculine. You're still very much toned. I don't care that you got a weave on your head. So when you and him was dancing up on each other, he knew that you felt kind of muscular. Okay? I went down your page. Yeah. Let me hold on, because you got music on some of this stuff. Yeah. No, sir. No. No. Sorry. Nah. He like men. But I will give him kudos for this. He took you home and he asked you. And he should have asked you before he put his lips on you. And so for him to continue to go down the path to act like he ain't know. If you have an inkling, that's you knowing. Like something right here ain't all the way there. And so to me, he was flirting with possibly messing with you, but then some of him was like, nah.
And while people may not be into whatever parts people have or whatever the case may be, people are just attracted to energy, period, which is okay. That's totally fine. I completely respect that. I'm not one of those gays that are like, I'm going to go get the trade and do this, that, and the third. That's really not my vibe. And if you are, pop off queen, do your big one. But I guess my biggest problem is if you had an inkling of a thought or you felt any type of way, you should have quite literally just asked.
Or you could have told him. Just for safety matters. What club did y'all meet at? Because that's a very important part of this story that you keep omitting. And if he was under the influence, you could have been up in there looking like Beyonce to him. Who knows? Why you gotta stop getting lit when you out? To me, it's not toxic masculinity. It's just he don't want to date another man, at least not publicly. Now, he didn't kiss you in your mouth and all of that, and you was dancing up on him, so he wasn't too offended at that particular point. Because as far as I'm concerned, your inkling kicked in when you kept flirting with this individual. And your inkling kicked in when you was kissing this man in his mouth. Like, you was cool with that. And I'm assuming you gonna push it off on the liquor. And you done sobered up and now you like, okay.
And been honest from the very beginning. Here, I spent an hour and a half getting ready for a date, not really into it, but like I was like open to, just seeing what happens, what would, transpire out of the whole situation. And yet, here we are. Now, this is a first for me. I've never had this happen to me before. This is something new to me. I'm not humbled in the slightest because I'm a bad. Look at me. Like, hello. And I know this is not in vain. I know that God has a partner for me out in the world, wherever he may be. But that was crazy. And for my theys, my girls, my dolls out there in the world, y'all be safe out there. Truly just be safe. Because for a slight moment in time, I was actually kind of scared for a minute. But yeah, y'all, I don't know. Am I tripping? Y'all let me know what y'all think, because I've quite literally never experienced anything like this before. Like, oh my God.
I think it worked out in both of y'all interest in it. I don't know what God you talking about, but I hope it's not the God of the Bible because, good sir, I have bad news for you. That's against the Bible. He ain't about to send you another man. It's just not going to happen for you. And Abrahamic religions in general, that's just not going to happen for you. Adam and Eve, sir, he not sending you another dude. Let's start there. But I think that it worked out for both of you. I feel like both of you handled it well. You letting him know, because it seemed as if he was confused that you were a man. Him accepting that you were a man and being confident enough in his sexuality to not flip out and just to take you home. Because some men, and this is why I feel like you should always be honest up front before there is any intimate contact, whatever. No kissing, no nothing. You let them know, hey, we got the same thing below. I'm a man like you a man, but I identify as a woman. That's all you got to say so they can make a clear decision on what they gonna do. Now, if you tell them and they continue to go by that path, y'all date, and then he start acting like he was so confused he didn't know, and then he want to get violent with you, that is a hate crime. Because you was aware, you made your own decision. So you gonna have to stand on that.
God, I'm like kind of floored. But anyway, on to the next, babes. That's fine. To Mr. Sir, good luck to you. And yeah, I don't know, y'all. It's just so funny. I'm like literally just sitting here in silence, like, oh my God, like I need to like talk to someone about this. But anyway, okay. Y'all let me know what y'all.
You should have told him, be careful.
Okay, first and foremost, I did not expect all of this discourse in my comment section. I didn't. But now that I have y'all here and I'm not as emotional or shaken up, let's clear some things up here, okay? Number one, a lot of people have been like, you should just be grateful that you got home safely. I am very much grateful that I got home safely. I'm very grateful for that, okay? Number two, I get a lot of comments like this. You should have told him ahead of time. Now, with that, here's the thing. While, we could be out at the club, it was dark, whatever, even outside when my friends and I got into our Uber, he pulled me over to the side and was like kissing me and introducing himself to my friends and this, that, and the third. So I just didn't feel the need to be like, oh, by the way, hi, I'm Donnie, I'm a man. No one's gonna do that. Y'all don't go up to people and be like, oh my God, hi, my name is Shaquila and I'm a woman. Like, be for real.
No, I feel like, how are you kissing somebody in their mouth and they don't even know your name? Y'all be out here playing with your life. You could have simply said, I am Donnie. What's your name? That's it. I feel like old boy is experimenting. So you was going with the flow. And I don't know what type of club y'all was at either. Because you just keep saying club. It could have been one of your clubs and you just thought it was normal.
Like, be serious, okay? All in all, I'm not saying that he handled the situation badly. My biggest qualm with all of this is that we had been texting for a week. When he mentioned in the car that he had an inkling, he said, I had an inkling probably a few days ago. However, I just didn't know how to bring it up and not be offensive. Which to me, I'm like, well, if you had a thought or an inkling of anything, you quite literally could have just texted me and just asked that. And I think I cleared this.
But I also feel like if you were texting him for an entire week, it's kind of like you should have told him. I feel like both of y'all was playing on each other's time. I think both of you knew there was an inkling there and neither one of y'all wanted to address it. I think you liked the attention because sometimes people within that community feel like they're getting a straight man and they want to turn him out. And that's attractive to them. It's like more like an adrenaline rush that they get from that. But both of y'all were playing a dangerous game. And both of you could have communicated better with each other.
Up with another young lady in my comment section where I said, had he asked me over text, it would have been less jarring. But to have me in a car with him and then ask me, if I was an actual woman, I would have told him to take me home, period. That's it.
But you not. And I feel like he knew and he should have asked you straight up.
Now, I have no ill will towards this gentleman. I'm not making this to be like, he's wrong and he blah, 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 blah. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying, y'all. The point is, communication is key. If you are unsure about anything, someone you're seeing, someone you're dating, and you want to ask questions, as difficult as they may be, it's important to have those conversations ahead of time. It saves you embarrassment, and it also saves embarrassment or fear for the other person on the other side. You know what I mean? And to you homophobic out here in the world, let me tell y'all something. The girls who are like, oh my God, now they want the straights to want them too, and blah, 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 blah. Pause, babe. A lot of y'all will be surprised that your straight counterparts and your men do want us femme gays. They do want.
And you need to be clear about communication. So if you have had people confuse you as a woman before, then you should let the men that you dating that you think may possibly be confused or have an inkling that you may not be a woman, you should let them know off the rip that you are a feminine gay man. So you guys can move forward with him making the decision of whether or not he wants to mess with you. This idea that I as a woman should see you as competition because other men might like you is none of my business because I'm a straight woman. So if a man is liking you, then that means that he is not straight. He's somewhere on that spectrum. He the GRB in the community. A straight man like women. He don't like men. You be surprised they want to, okay, well, if they want you, then they don't just want women.
The trans girls, they do want the dolls. Like, let's be real. But I don't know, y'all.
Then they want the D. That's it.
I, again, did not expect all this discourse and people just having all these opinions. But I'm just wanted to clear some things up for everybody. That way that we are all aligned, we are all in tune, and yeah, we're all on one accord now, okay? And for the people who are like, I'm so glad that you're safe, and it could have been much worse, I agree. Thank y'all so much for the love and the support. Like I said, there was like a split second where I was a little scared, because I was like, why are we pulling the car over? However, he was a gentleman, he was kind, he was nice. He brought me back home, and that's the most respectful thing that he could have done. I'm not saying that was the part that was wrong. That wasn't the part that was wrong. To me, the part in all of this that was wrong was that you had an inkling a few days ago. You could have cleared that up ahead of time. It could have saved us all of this.
You feel like somebody has something confused, you have the responsibility to tell them. So you could stop all of this nonsense ahead of time. And you were very much offended that he did not want to be with you and he took you home. That's why you ran to the internet, because you were offended by what happened.
Weirdness, awkwardness, me spending time to get ready, and you having to drive all the way over here to waste gas to like come get me, and then preparing to take me out to dinner. So that's it. That's all. Okay, I hope everybody got it all cleared up. If y'all have questions, comments, concerns, feel free to get in the comment section if you'd like. But yeah, I just thought that I would get that off my chest. Also, good morning. Happy Friday.
You versus accountability is scary. Y'all are tripping. If old boy felt the need to ask for, clearly he had some doubt and should have inquired before he went out. I feel like you should have checked social media. It's for men and women, but women in general. When you check their social media, go to who they following, especially like on IG. Follow list will tell you a lot. See, they took away likes on IG, which was a horrible experience. But if they had kept the likes, you could have followed him and see what type of post he liking. Twitter too, because that can be the wild, wild west. Look who they following over there, but then also check their replies. Y'all got to be careful in these streets. Accountability is chasing you, but I fear you're faster. It's not his responsibility to ask. It's yours responsibility to disclose, period. Laugh out loud. Seriously. Okay.
Okay, so there was a creator named Dominique Morgan who stitched my video and made a response to this. And I first want to thank Miss Girl for the compliments, but also just for providing perspective for all of you weirdos in my comments. In her video, she explained,
and I just want to let y'all know he talking about Dominique Morgan, who's also a man that identifies as a woman.
you know, she can understand where people are saying, oh, this trans girl, you know, should have been more forward about who they are. But then goes on to recognize that I do not identify as a trans woman. I'm just a feminine gay man. And feminine gay men do not feel the need to come out or be forthcoming about them being a gay man because they're a gay man. She further proves the
I mean, if you want to keep it a buck, so are they, but go off.
point
Like,
where most people do not see feminine gay men as passable. And passability is also a separate conversation, but we're not talking about that right now. A lot of the times people see feminine gay men who wear makeup and do hair and have nails and wear skirts and dresses and dress more feminine, that they look like everyday men. I am an anomaly. I just so happen to be somewhat passable as a woman, or, you know, I guess prettier than most women and take care of myself a little bit better. I don't know.
I know you don't know because you lying to yourself. You're not. It's some really pretty men out there that you just want to thank their mama for having them, and you not it. You could say what you want to say about yourself, whatever. But I think you need to go ahead and pump your brakes. Even some T's in the community, even some feminine gay men, you not even touching them. Like, you just be like, why? Like, why? Because you want them. Or yourself, because they that fine. Like, forget the fact that you like D like I do. You still fine. You don't take care of yourself better than most women. You have to stop. It's not a competition for a woman to be told that she look like a man. That's not what women want to hear. That's an insult. When you said passable, what are you trying to pass as, Donnie? A woman. In order to know what a woman is, a woman would have to first exist. You're getting your feminine hairstyle from who? A woman.
I don't know. But what I love about that is the fact that she outlines exactly my point. Everyone wants to say, well, you should have told him, and you should have been more forthcoming, and you should have done this, and you should have done that. At the end of the day, I'm just a gay man. That's it, that's all. To me, my brain, there's no need for me to come out and be more forthcoming because I don't identify as a woman. I don't identify as a trans woman. And I
feel like you should have just went ahead and just said it. Like when he pulled that car over and he asked you that question, you kind of already knew what the question was. And so sometimes you have to be careful about certain things and you have to be forthcoming about certain stuff to prevent harm from coming your way.
The thing that a lot of people are not recognizing within this whole dialogue and discourse that's happening in the comments right now. It's actually really exhausting. And it's also kind of funny because at the end of the day, a lot of you guys are not actually listening to what I'm saying. Everyone's taking one glimpse of something that I'm saying and like running with it. But you guys clearly aren't watching the entire video watch the video in its entirety rather. My friends have told me I should just like leave the comments alone and not talk about this anymore. But this is the last time I'm going to address it. Okay. Like y'all can fight in the comments all you want to, say what you want to say. I know who I am as a person. My friends know me. My family knows me as a person. I don't need the outside validation from strangers on the internet who are quite literally just getting a glimpse and a blip of my life that I'm deciding to share and be vulnerable with all of you.
You ran to the internet for a reason, and that's because you wanted validation. You were offended that man took you home because you felt like you was passing. Sometimes when they tell you they passing, a part of them get off on that. They like being deceptive. Live your best life, but be very careful, sir. If you have an inkling that these men are confused about what you are, then you need to tell them, hey, I'm a man. So you ain't got to be in a car with somebody that potentially wants to do you harm because some of them will flip out on you.
And the girlies that get it, y'all get it, and I appreciate y'all. And if you don't get it, then that's on you. That's not my business. That has everything to do with you. If you feel pressed, girl, hop on a picnic basket and be the pressed panini that you are, babe. Like, I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, if you guys want further clarification, I urge you guys to go watch Dominique Morgan's video. I reposted it. I wish I could put it in the comments somewhere, but she really does outline it perfectly. And I think a lot of y'all need to be educated if y'all decide to take the education. So anyway, that's it. That's all.
As always, remember that you're fearfully and wonderfully made. Stay blessed.